May 22nd, 2019, Rogers Rangers. This will be my third video. I'll be playing the campaign historical scenarios, and we're on mission number 3, and that will be frontier raiding. And our mission is to find, seek out, and destroy the enemies, the French hostile village. So my alert level starts at 2, but since I'm in the campaign, you add 1 to that. And so the alert level should be at 3, which it is. And then we have execution, 8 operations. That's 8 operation cards. However, I ended up with 6. I lucked out in the first objective and the last mission, were the prisoners I had to rescue and bring back. And I ended up with 6 remaining. I get half of those, so 3 to this 8. I have 11 operations. This is going to be okay. And then logistics, start with 12 RPs. And there they are there. And what I'm going to do, or what I did, is I spent all of them. And I recruited 2 Rangers and a Pioneer. That's 6 right there. And the mission of destroy the hostile village, I need to blow this stuff up. So that's the Pioneer has demolition capabilities, and I'm bringing gunpowder to help out with maybe one of the Ranger units. Supplies is always good. There's a lot of cards that are going to be supply specific, and you can lose if you don't have your supplies. You can lose some operations, and I don't want to do that. So supplies cost 2, gunpowder costs 2. I'm adding to that. I'm giving Rogers his hatchet. That gives him a +1 to his strength, so he's at 2 now. And the long rifle costs only 1. The hatchet costs 1. The long rifle gives a tactical edge to the force in battle, and I already have the leader. That plus on that leader is a tactical edge. So this will give me a +2 tactical edge to my die roll there. Now, since I won the last mission, one of the successes is to gain a Ranger. So actually, I got an extra Ranger here at 0 cost. So that's my 12 plus the free Ranger. I'm going to use that green pawn to represent the force so I can move them around a lot easier. And I think that's about it. Oh, command is 5, so I can command 5 units. Let's slide back over here and see. So Rogers can have 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I've got room for more. So I have a force of 4 under Rogers, and I could actually command 1 more. But I got a lot of supplies. A lot of gear is the correct term. And if I win this mission, if I find the hostile village and successfully destroy it and get back to Rogers Island, I gain 1 operation. Okay, so here we go. I made a little card here. So the first thing is recruiting scouting, and there's actually an objective right near to that. And my 3 Rangers that are in the force and Rogers are scouts. They are scouts. If you just flip over the back of these units here, you will see it's a scout. And this is a scout. So you need 1 scout. And you can conduct a scouting mission. So what I'll do is go ahead and reveal this. This is going to go out and scout. And it says, where is it? Depot. Okay, well, we're not looking for the depot. So we're going to remove that one. And so we continue on with the turn. And the turn is movement. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go, let's see, do I want to just go straight after these guys? Yeah, okay. I'm going to move 1. I changed my mind. 1, 2, 3 to end my movement. I'm going to draw an op card. And it's had this one before. Coureur de Bois. And it's raise alert level by 1 and lose 1 op. So what I do is I take the next top one and basically I put it on here. I blow it and I lose. What was the other thing? 1 alert level. Oh, increase, raise alert level. Oh my goodness. So this is pretty high. This is going to be a problem. So I'm now at alert level 4. All right, that was my card. No combat. If you look over here, and no objective to reveal, so we go to turn 2. First segment, there's no scouting, no recruiting. I don't have any RPs to recruit, so I'm going to go ahead and move. And I'm going to go ahead and move into Fort Wentworth. With my movement, there is an objective there. I want to find out what's there. But first, I flip over this op card. And we have a massacre. Okay, so they're saying use the random placement procedure to determine one space. If there's an objective in it, remove it. And then you re-roll, and then you place it there using the random placement guideline. So basically, what I'm going to do is roll, and I have a 4. All right. And you go to this chart right here on the edge of the map. And a 4 is Fort Oswego, which is right here, and there's nobody there. If there was an objective there, I would remove it. I would re-roll, go back to this chart, and place it there. And if there was somebody there, I'd keep re-rolling until I find an open spot. So I would have technically 6 vacant spots plus the one I removed. I could technically end up in the same place. I'd have 7 possible out of 12. And so this card is no effect. So moving on, there's no combat for the card. And the 5th segment is to go ahead and reveal the objective, which is, okay, focus in on here. Where is it? All right, it's the info. I don't have the mission on recover the intel, so I'll simply remove that. So I've eliminated 2 of the 6 objectives. So it's in this north-south line right here, and I got to decide which direction I want to go. I want to continue going north or cut in the middle. So turn 3, and I need to move. There's no scouting. I think what I'll do is I'm just going to head north. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to pull a card, an ops card, and it says friendlies. I haven't had this one in a while. Friendlies. If the operating force has supplies, which I do, you may expend 1 and only 1 supply to gain 1 op or reveal 1 objective of your choice, or else no effect. Okay, so basically I have a supply, and if I want to expend it, then I get to reveal one of these objectives. And that's a hard choice. I mean, if it was way down here out the way, I may want to reveal objectives, expend my supply. I do have a lot. I do have a lot of operations. I don't need to. I do not need to. I do not need to do the first thing. If operating force has supplies, you may expend 1 to gain. You can expend your supplies to gain 1 op. I don't need another op. I think I'm good on that. But my understanding is I expend the supply to reveal 1 objective, and that's a little tricky. What the supply gives, I'll talk about a little bit, is you could force march, which if you were short on operations, you can move 1 extra turn. So these guys are moving at 3. That's the movement factor of the slowest unit here. They're all Rangers and Pioneers. So they move at 3. I can move at 4 to expend my supplies. That would be a forced march, and there may be a situation to do that. I don't have that. The other use of the supplies is in battle for one-time effect. You may be up against a large force. All your guys in your column fire twice, and before moving to the next one, you get to fire twice. And I think I'm going to save my supplies for that and not reveal an objective, because that's good. Plus, there's some other cards that are going to ask if you have your supplies, and so I'll keep it. Okay, long-winded on that one, but I wanted to explain the supply rule. So I'm going to have no effect on the friendlies, and I'm going to go ahead with, there's no combat over here, number 4, number 5, there's no objective under me, so I'll move to the next turn. And I believe that would be, let's see, this is turn 4. So I'm going to go ahead and move to St. Francis, or Saint Francis. This is a French name. And I'm going to go on that objective right there. And then I'm going to draw an operations card. And it is Wilderness Challenge. Roll 1 dice. All right, or 1 die. Okay, I'm gonna use the dice tower. If you haven't seen it from other videos, here's my homemade dice tower. Got a little window on it, and there's some bevels in there, about 3 bevels in it. It comes popping out here. And these little dice, they don't stay in this chamber. They fly out all over the place. But we'll see what happens here. Go ahead and drop it in. And it's a 6. Rolled a 6. So we're going to go back to the card. Hope I'm not panning too fast. And on a 5 or 6, if you have a hatchet, which I do, reduce the alert level by 1. Otherwise, raise the alert level by 1. Well, there's your hatchet. I like to give Rogers a hatchet to give him a little extra strength, a little punch in the battle if he needs it. And so I'm going to reduce my alert level, which has been raised before, back down to 3. Still high, but there we go. All right, moving on. There's no combat. And then the fourth thing, fifth segment of the turn is the reveal. And let's see what this one is. It's the abandoned marker. That means there's nothing there. You just remove it. Now, one of these is going to be an ambush. And I'm not looking forward to the ambush because you get you're fighting a big battle, but I got a decent strength. I can handle that. I just don't want to handle 2 or 3 battles. I won't make it. I won't survive. All right, so that was, let's see, turn 1 was 1, 2, 3. Turn 2 was the fort win forward. Turn 3 was 1, 2, 3. And turn 4 was here. So now we're going to go at turn 5. There's no scouting or reinforcements because I'm not adjacent to anybody. I don't have any RPs. So I'm going to move 2 spaces and stop on the objective. You have to stop if you land in the same space as objective, and you have to stop if you're in a French fort, and you have to stop if you move into a mountain. You turn, your movement ends. So I want to stop anyway because there's an objective. Now we go to drafting a card, and this card is Pontiac. I like Pontiac. If the operating force has a leader, which I do, gain 1 op. So I gain an extra op, which means you go to the reserve deck, which is here. Grab the top one. Don't look at it. Put it down. And I think I've lost a couple ops already, maybe. I think here I just gained 1 back. Not that I'm going to need it, but it's always a good safety reserve there. So I gain 1 op. Also, if the Indian unit is currently in the recruit box, which it is, place it with the operating force. So he is there. All right. And I'm going to take my Indian unit and I'm going to add him to the force, which is over here. Now I've got a pretty readily force. Now, what this Indian does do, and I've explained this in a previous video, the Rangers are scouts and the leaders are scouts, but the Indian is a guide. And the guide route can apply. So there's a couple of things you can do with the guide route. You could get a card that gives you the guide, or if you have the Indian, you can do a guide. And what the guide allows you to do is if you get an operationals card that you don't like, say you're very weak and you don't want to fight a battle, and Montcalm's army shows up and you have to fight a battle, you can choose not to do that card. You put it at the bottom of the operations card deck, and then you have to do the next op, which may not be any better, but that's your guide rule. There's a couple of other. Let's see. I'm going to take a quick look at I can find it. I've been through this. This rule book so many times. So it's rule number 22. I'm just going to show you in the rule book. Here it is. We don't have Psych War in this game, but basically the guide rule is if you get down to here, qualified unit, and Indian's a qualified unit, and it's with the rating force, which is now is, or if you have a card specifying a one-time PSYOP option, or you got to house through this, or guide. Guide card. After drawing an operations card, but before playing it, you may place that card on the bottom of the deck. You must draw a substitute card. Each force may do this only 1 time per operations card segment, even if there is more than 1 guide qualified. So in other words, you can get by 1 card, but you got to play the next operations card. Then next turn you can do it again. That's the importance. Okay, so I got an Indian. He's a guide. And I'm going to put him with the force over here. I can focus in there. And that was Pontiac. All right, so next is any combat? Nope. And now we get to reveal this one. We're getting down. There's only 3 left, good or bad. And it is the prisoners. Now, what we are looking for the hostile village. We're not looking for the prisoners. I rescued those guys last turn, so you just remove it. And what we have left then is one of these is the hostile village, which we have to destroy, and the other one's an ambush, which we have to fight. So here we go. Next turn, I think this is turn 6. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is turn 6. There's no scouting, no reinforcements, just simply moving. And I'm going to go 1, 2, and move into Crown Point. There's an objective there, and I have to stop because there's an objective, and it is in, as you can see, a French fort. So draw a card. Still have a lot of operations, and it's a Ranger Relief column. Make an alert check. Okay, good. We get to do this. So what you do is you pick a dice. Let's a die, and you roll it. Put it in the dice tower, and it's a 1. And there it is. And then we go to our French alert, and if it's less than or equal to your alert level, something's happens. All right, so I'm going to go to the card. Die roll, if the alert level is less than or equal, if your die roll is less than and equal to the alert level, recruit 1 ranger or 1 light infantry unit at no cost. That light infantry is a 4-2. It's very powerful. If it's slower, we may go ahead for that to beef up our force. Place it with the operating force. Also, place 1 supply unit with the operating force. That's fantastic. Now, as I've been mentioning all the videos, all these cards that have you do an alert check are misprinted. The rules say, in the rule booklet, it says die roll less than or equal to alert check, or die roll greater than. Scratch the equal out. That's a misprint. So if I had rolled a 4, 5, or 6, it would have been die roll greater than alert level, not equal, and it would have been no effect. But hey, I passed the alert check, and I get a unit and a supply. So, oh my goodness, I get another supply. This is fantastic. So I'm gonna get a supply, put it with the force over here, and I think I'm good. I think I'm good with a slower unit, more powerful, because I'm so close, right? I'm gonna have to go here anyway, unless I want to go way around it. So I'm gonna be fighting an ambush more than likely, and I want that light infantry, nice colorful light infantry. And I'll put them in the force there. That's a 4-2 light infantry, and he comes with a supply unit. Wow, what a great operations card to have. There's so many bad cards. It's nice to get a good one. And I would not have had it if I didn't pass the alert check. So that was the card. There is no combat by that card. So I moved to the flipping the objective, revealing the objective. And it says ambush. Now you have to follow the ambush rule, and I'll show you that. It's on the special rules. It's on the 2-page sheet. And we're going to go to here. Ambush to be triggered. If this is revealed by a ranger force entering the space, yes, that's what happened, then a French force appears. Pick a number of French units equal to the current alert level. Our alert level is down to 3, folks. Okay, now I'm gonna add to that because it's more than 3 actually. So pick a number of French units equal to the alert level of 3 and engage in combat. If it is revealed by other means, then nothing happens. Other means would be, say you weren't. That's a good question. If you're pulling a card or something like that. But okay, so regardless, remove the marker from play. If you win the ensuing battle, gain 1 op. If you lose 1 op. Now I don't really need any more ops, but hey, I'll take it. So we're gonna do a battle, an ambush, and so there's a couple of things happening. We have 3 alert levels at 3, so we pick 3 French forces. 1, 2, and I'm not looking, that's why I'm fumbling around, and 3. Now, There's another rule. I'm in a French fort. So let's go to the terrain effects chart. Move these guys out the way. And we're going to go to, here we are, French fort. Terrain effects, all right, movement effect, you have to stop. Who wins in a tactical superiority? The French. So that's, we're going to have to do a tactical edge die roll. But look over here on the combat effect. Okay, that's on the French forts. It's the only one. It's the only one. So we have to pay attention to that. Regular infantry uses the stronger combat strength. Okay, so when we pick these guys, we have 2 French regular infantry. Actually, that should be the Colonial Marines. It's a misprint. Those are the ones. Colonial Marines wore these white uniforms, and the rules have them also as 2 strength. So those are both combat strengths, either a 2 or 4, depending where they are. If they're in open terrain or a French fort, they get to use the stronger one. So that's all that's saying there, is that they would be 4s, and that's a tough force. And you line them up in order of strength. So this is the order here. So back to this. French force appears due to ops. If the French force appears due to ops card instruction, pick 1 additional unit. Okay, so that's where this look. Okay, so regular infantry uses stronger combat strength. If the French force appears due to an ops card instruction, which it doesn't, pick 1 additional unit. So I don't pick an extra unit just because I'm in a French fort. If it was an ambush card, operation card, I would, if in a French fort. So I don't. All right, so what I have to do is line up my forces, and I will see if I can get these guys in order here. I get to choose whatever order I want. The hostiles have to go in order of strength. So I'm getting all my Rangers in order. I want the Pioneer, obviously, last, because I need his demo strength. I do have nice strong guy. I don't know if I want to lose him right off the bat if I lose the tactical edge and they fire first. So I'm gonna put him second, because I'm definitely gonna get a fire, and he's safe because the first guy gets killed in line. All right, I do have a guide, and what I could do, all right, is I don't need the guide rule too much. I think what I'm going to do is put the Indian first, and then the light infantry, and then have, fumbling around with the camera while looking at this, 3 Rangers, then the Pioneer, and then Rogers. I have a pretty big force. I think I should handle this. All right, so what I usually do is I give Rogers the hatchet just to protect him. He needs to get back. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the supply rule. I'm going to go ahead and expend supply. I'm going to give it to the guy up here. Let me see. Puts another supply here. Long rifles, tactical edge, and gunpowder. So you have to, the leader can hold 1 gear, which he does, and the others can hold 2. And what I need is, Pioneer has his own demo, so he doesn't need gunpowder. So I'll give him the long rifle and supplies. And then I'll give a Ranger gunpowder to carry, and supplies. Okay, so here we're set up for the ambush, and we have to determine tactical edge, or as you see some places, tactical superiority. So what that means is you look and see if they have any tactical edge, a plus. They don't have any. Their leader would have one, so they don't have a tactical edge, but I do. I have the long rifle gives me 1, and that plus on Rogers gives me another 1. So I have +2. So I'm going to roll 1 blue and 1 red die in the dice tower. Oh, And that doesn't count. We're going to roll a red again. And it's a 5. All right, and I add 2 to that, so it's 7-2. I get to fire first, or the British or Rogers fires first. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. First off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to expend a supply. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, show that it's expended. And what that means is every one of my unit, when they fire not once, but twice. So the Indian is a strength of 2. The combat strength is to the bottom or left, and he needs to roll a 1 or a 2 to hit. And I get to hit any one of these, and it doesn't matter. I'm going to go after one of those 2 4s. So I'm going to roll, and it's a 6, so I miss. But hey, I'd get double fire because of the supply rule. Fire again, and 4. All right, so that's a double miss. And what I usually do is I move him to the right to show that he's expended his fire. Now we go to the first French unit line, and they have to kill, if they get a hit, the first one in line, which would be the Indian, and only lose a 2-4. So they're going to fire, and everything is going on the ground. So I'm gonna put this little card up here, and that should stop it. Okay, try again. Okay, we have a 4, and that's a hit because they are using their stronger strength of 4, and they're going to eliminate the French unit. So it alternates. Now I go with my second unit, and he gets to fire twice also, and I'm a 4, so I should do some damage right here. I'm going to roll. Actually, I'm going to roll 2 dice to get this done. Double fire. And 2 hits, 1 and a 3. So what that means is I get to choose 2 of them, and I'm going to take these 2 guys out. And when you defeat the hostiles, you put them back in their bin. All right, and this is my light infantry who fired, so I move him to the right, showing that he fired. And now it's the French turn, the militia. Number 2 is going to roll, and he needs a 1 or a 2 to hit. And it's a 1. That's a hit, and by rule, he has to take the first guy in line, which is the guy I just recruited. And that's my big, slow, but powerful light infantry. So it's back to my next person. Now I'm going to move him on the side because he's fired. And I get to fire everybody in line before you go back to the French first. So my 3/3 Ranger is going to fire, and he fires twice. This is why I like that supply. So I'm going to roll 2 dice, and I get 2 hits, a 1 and a 3. I need to roll less than or equal to. There's only 1 to kill. He's gone, and if you killed, you don't get the fire back. But that's the end of the battle. These only these 3 have fired, and I did what they needed to do. Now, since I won a battle, and I keep forgetting this rule, you roll 1 dice to see if you get an extra leader. I don't really need them, but here we go. And it's a 3. You needed to roll a 6, and then you would pick up that last guy, which is right here, is putting them, I can focus in, as an extra leader, and it gives you a little bit more punch. You can do things. There's some cards that ask if you have an extra leader or something. It's just you can split your force. There's a couple little quirky rules that you can maybe do with the leader. All right, so this force, I lost 2 guys, and they go into the dead box, which is right here, Raider units eliminated. And I put these guys here. Oh, one thing about that leader is if I had game putting them, I get to keep them for the next mission. All right, and so these guys are going to go back into the stack, represented by that pawn, but I like to put them out the way because I'm going to do some action a little bit. I need to demolish the hostile village, and it's either here or there. All right, and I did lose a supply gear. I burnt that up, so I'm going to put that in the eliminated box also. All right, so back to, that was the, actually that was, that was the ambush, and we won the ambush. The ambush. So there is, if you win that ambush, where's the rules again? Again, there's something else. Look at the bottom. If you win, last two lines, if you win the ensuing battle, gain 1 op. So this is going to help me with the next mission. So I add another op card to the bottom of the stack. I get to keep half my remaining ops for the last mission. It's a big mission, so I'll take everything I can get. Okay, now you're going to see scouting. First thing you do on the next turn, which is, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be turn 7. You can recruit if you had any RPs. I don't have any RPs, so I'm going to do a scouting mission, and that is if you have a scout in your unit, which I do, all the rangers and the leaders, a scout, you get to take a peek at that adjacent unit in this fort, and we know what it's going to be. It's going to be the hostiles. All right, so movement, I'm just going to move into here and stop. I have to stop. Then you draw a card. And it's a supply check. Interesting. You may expend 1 supply unit to gain 1 op. If you do not expend a supply unit, then lose 1 op. Okay, I have a lot of ops. Do I need that supply? I fought my battle. I'm going to go ahead. Let me see. I'm just going to count real quick for the next mission. Try to keep them in order. 1, 2, 3. Look at them. 4, 5. That's an odd number. So if I gain an op, I'll have 6. I get to keep half. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and expend. So you can see it, the supply, my second supply, I'm going to expend it. Okay, and as the card says, you may expend 1 supply unit to gain 1 op. So, folks, I gain another op. That gives me 6 ops. And I still got no, I think that's going to be the last one I'm going to have to use. All right, so next is going to be, after drawing the card, is going to be combat. There's no combat that occurred because of that card. So segment 5 is you're going to have to demolish. And this is where I bring forth the pioneer. Hope I didn't accidentally kill him. Nope, he's here. Okay, I'm going to bring the pioneer up. He has demo abilities. And I'm going to bring a ranger up with gunpowder. They're all representing this pawn. I'm just showing you. And then we go to the demolition rules, and I'll show you some of those. So gunpowder barrel. I have the gunpowder barrel. If I can, okay, gunpowder barrel. That's part of the gear. Gunpowder barrels allow non-pioneer units to destroy objectives. Each gunpowder barrel expended roll 1 additional die. Regardless of the result, the gunpowder barrel is expended. If this is in addition to any die rolls for pioneers, this is in addition to any die rolls for pioneers which are not expended. So the pioneer is not expended. All right. So then, now I need to go to the pioneer, and he is going to be. Let's see where we are right here. Okay, so I flipped the page. Pioneers. Pioneers have special abilities. Demolition is their special ability. Demolition allows pioneers to destroy certain objective markers per scenario. To perform demolition, a pioneer must be part of an operating force in the same space as an objective marker in the objective phase. Roll 1 die for each pioneer in that space. There's only 1 pioneer. Consult the demolition table. If you have more than 1 pioneer in the space, you declare which pioneers are attempting the demolition 1 at a time and may cease at any point. So I'm going to get 2 shots at this. Let me show you the demolition table. All right, so A 1, eliminate one friendly unit of your choice. 2, no effect. I need to roll a 3, 4, 5, or 6. Okay, so the Pioneer is going to go first. I'm going to grab a die, put them in the dice tower, and roll. And folks, it's a 5. And a 5 on the demolition table is, as I said before, objective is destroyed. So we effectively destroyed the hostile village. Didn't even need the gunpowder. Pioneer did his job. That's why I recruited him, brought him along. And if you're just playing the mission without the campaign, the game, you would have won at that point. That's all you have to do is accomplish that mission. You don't really have to go back. In a campaign game, you want to get back, which is not going to be hard because I'm there. If I would have went straight in, I would have found this guy first and it would have been done. I wouldn't have hit all these operations, seven operations. So that's the end of turn 7, I believe it was. Turn 8, no scouting. I'm going to go ahead and move. Of course, these guys, I'm just going to put them back with their stacks. And I move 1, 2. And there's no drawing operations card. That's it. Mission accomplished. What did I win? Gain 1 up. So now there's, again, at the house rule it a little bit. There's some other places that said otherwise. So I'm going to go to my errata and check what I had on there. I think it was route 28. 28, yep. So, route 28. The success of mission cards do not coincide with rule 32.2. There's a lot of this, guys. I had to put this 5-page errata together. So, which markers explain. So add the following gains to the mission card. So frontier rating, the second one, if you destroy the hostile village, you gain 1 op, which is what the mission card says, or 1 RP, which is what the rule book says. Okay, so I'm going to wait to decide on that. Well, let me see what I have here. I counted this before. I didn't use any. I should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I gained half of those 3. I'm going to gain the next mission we can quickly look at, which is the last mission, the big campaign. I get 12 ops. I'm going to be able to add 3 to that. That's 15. The question is, do I want a 16th op? I don't even know if there's 16 cards in this deck. Right? I don't know if there's 16 cards. It may not be. So I'm going to go ahead and I can make this decision later, but I'm just to remind me, I'm going to go ahead and take that one RP for winning this campaign. And that's it, folks. That's mission number 3, and it's a success. Thank you.